Today we are going to learn about HTML, which in full means HyperText Markup Language. It is a markup language that is used to output text on browsers to the user end. So the first thing you need to understand about before you even start learning HyperText Markup is to understand what a text editor is. You can, I'm on Windows, you can use Notepad. You can also use Notepad++ or Visual Code. So just open Notepad. Notepad is something like this. So will be this one. You can type your code here, or use a Visual Code. Let me show you Visual Code. You can install Visual Code, which is subject to another lesson. So assuming you've already installed Visual Code, just open it and start writing your code. So this is my text editor. So this is my text editor. So the first thing is to create a project. So let me assume my project is in the desktop. My projects folder. So this is my projects folder. Let me open the projects folder here, and then you create your folder. Let me call it HTML. HTML page. So HTML, let me call it HTML. That is what I will be creating. That is the folder. And then you save. Then you go to your text editor. Go to your text editor, which is Visual Code, and open text editor. Visual Code, and you click File, then open folder. Then you open your created folder. That is it. Don't save that. That's a previous project, so it will just close and open our folder that we created. Inside your folder, create a new file, name it as index.html. All HTML pages should have the extension HTML. So index is usually the default page. And for this case, we are going to write it in HTML. So you type enter, you press enter, and then save it there. Then it opens. So now you have somewhere to write your code. And that is line 1, line 2, line 3, like this. So your codes, you find that unlike Notepad, the Visual Code editor numbers your code lines so that you are able to trace where the problem is when you are writing, you know how many lines of code you've written. So that is it. I already have my default page, index.html. And then now we are going to learn how to write our HTML code. So HTML, as I said, is used to output text on the browser so that you as the end user who is browsing the web page can see the output in the form of a text. So that's why it is called a HyperText markup language. So it's a language that writes code that is used to output text on the browser. Enough introduction. So let's go to the code. The first thing we are going to study is the structure of an HTML web page. And the structure is usually arranged in terms of HTML elements. An HTML element is a composition of a text and HTML tags. An HTML tag is something like this. You write like this, you open a tag name like that, and then you close. So you find that Visual Editor auto closes a tag. So that's how it looks like. This is just a name, the way I've just named it to teach you. So this is a tag. A closing tag is like that, with that, and then the tag name in, then you close it with this, like that. And then whatever you write here, African tech nerd. Now, that is the text. So all of this becomes a what? An HTML element. And there are so many, quite a number of HTML elements that we are going to learn that when we put together, they bring, they present an HTML web page that outputs desired text to the user on the browser. So let's start. So an HTML element, an HTML page, as I said, consists of different types of HTML tags and elements. And the first one we are going to learn is a doc type element. A doc type element is written that doc type is actually not an element, but a declaration, and is usually at the start of HTML. And this is a declaration that says that this page, it tells us that this HTML page is an HTML5 web page. So that is the first declaration that you write, which is the doc type declaration, declaring that this document, this index.html document, is an HTML5 document. That's very clear. The second HTML tag that we are going to learn is actually the main one, which is HTML. And that is how you write it. It's actually the main HTML element, no, HTML tag that encapsulates all the other HTML elements. There's a function of, there's one characteristic of HTML elements that an HTML tag can encapsulate other tags, and HTML tag is one of them. In that, in the HTML tag, this one, this opening and this one, we can write other tags in between it. So it can, HTML tags can encapsulate other HTML tags. And this is one of them. So I've opened it and I've closed it. Fine. So the next one we are going to learn is the add tag. And that is how you write it. Remember, Visual Code makes it very easy. Once you open a tag, it closes. Be sure you write it the right way, because if you write it wrong, it will still close it. It's called giggle, garbage in, garbage out. So that is the add tag, which is usually the first HTML tag that we write after HTML. From there, we do write other HTML tags, which is the body tag, which we have opened and we have closed. And this one can also encapsulate other tags. The difference between the add tag and the body tag is that everything you write inside the add tag will not be visible on the main HTML, the main web page. While the one that everything that you write on the body, its content will be output and visible on the main web page. That is very important. Inside the edit tag, we go to the next tag. This tag is called the title tag. The title tag is just from the English word, is the title of the web page. And this is how you open it and close it. Let us make it a title, HTML title element by writing something like Africa Tech Nut. That will be the topic, the title of the page. This HTML element outputs the word Africa Tech Nut on the title of the web page. That means it will not be visible on the main part of the page, but will be visible on the browser tab. So we'll see that once you put it. And then I'll teach you about others here, but let's go to, because we are just introducing, go to the body. In the body, this is where we write tags like the header tag, header tag is where you write maybe the navigation links, where you have the logo, essentially what is in the head of the document, of the HTML web page. So you can write an header there, and then after that, you can have other HTML tags below it, which are very, very, very important. Now, before we write the tag, the header tag, we can also have something like a division. A div is like a division. So we can have something like a div there. Yeah. And we can call this maybe a div that now runs the others. So we can have a div that now encapsulates all the other elements. That is just a choice. Let me just go to the single one. So even if you delete the header, you can also write things here that can be good when you run there, when you serve this page on the browser. So we have there the paragraph tag, which you write this way. So this one will be, this is a paragraph. Yes. So that's how you write a paragraph. This is a paragraph. That's how you write a paragraph. you can also write headings. The heading tag is written like this. Actually, the basics of the heading HTML tag is like that. But now they are named depending on how, in the order of the importance from 1 to 6. So this is how you write the main topic. It's H1. So this is main topic. And then you may follow with some the paragraph, or you follow with another one like H2, which is now another topic in below it, which is not of importance as the main topic. So this is maybe a sub-heading like that, sub-heading, sub-heading. And then you can write like that, like that, like that, you know, edit 5, then the last one, edit 6. So you expect main topic, and unless you apply other attributes which I will teach, that the heading 1 will be bigger than sub-heading 2, and then heading maybe sub-heading 3, sub-heading 4, sub-heading 5, and then sub-heading 6. So when you add content inside an HTML tag, opening and closing tags, it becomes an HTML element. Very important. So now, if you save this, save, and then you go to your projects, and then the HTML folder, and you just click like that, as simple as that. You don't require a server to run an HTML folder for now. So you find that what we've written, number one, is the title is visible here. It is not visible on the main page. And we have the heading 1, heading 2. You see, the size decreases as you go down to HTML6. Then this is a paragraph. That is essentially how we have it. So we have a simple web page that we have created using HTML. And we are going to, as we continue learning, we are going to make it deeper and deeper, and so that finally we have a better, improved HTML page. Thank you so much. That is enough for introduction of an HTML. The HTML, which is actually an HyperText markup language used to develop web pages.